LHS Pre-Calculus presents Pure Imagination. The goal, to inform people of the properties and operations of complex numbers.
Once upon a time, there was a brain and an eye on a plane. And then the eye wanted to learn more about himself, so it asked the brain.
Well, to begin this journey of self-discovery, we must begin with what you really are.
Before we can learn about the operations of imaginary numbers, first let's define. Imaginary numbers are put into the terms of I. I represents the value of the square root of -1. The square root of -1 is imaginary because no squared term can be negative. Usually, imaginary numbers are put into something we call standard form. This is represented by the variables a plus bi. An example would be 3 plus 2i.
So I'm imaginary?
Yes, but you have many important operations.
A while ago, I was trying to get a reservation at a restaurant. I was meeting up with a friend, and in order to place our reservation, we had to know how many people were in our party.
That's simple. You use addition.
In order to do this, we simply combine the i's. A mathematical explanation can be shown through the example 3 plus 4i plus 5 plus 6i. Add the first terms, the real ones, 3 plus 5i, and then the imaginary terms, 4 plus 6i. The answer is 8 plus 10i.
But what about subtraction?
It's not that different.
This is an identical operation can be used when using subtraction, except that you subtract the terms instead of add.
Oh, I get it now. What if I want to have babies and multiply?
You're a little young, but here's how the birds and the bees work.
Taking the mathematical approach when multiplying two complex numbers, one should use FOIL. FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, and last. Example, 3 plus 4i plus 5 plus 6i. Multiply them out and you get 11 plus 18i.
Okay, I get that, but when I grow up and get married and decide that I hate my husband, how would I get a divorce or divide?
Not everyone divides, but here's how it would work.
To divide complex numbers, one must multiply the fraction given by the conjugate of the fraction's denominator with the opposite symbol. An example of this process can be shown by the operation 5 plus 2i divided by 3 plus 4i. In order to complete the division, you must multiply the entire fraction by the complex conjugate, which would be 3 minus 4i divided by 3 minus 4i. When you FOIL them out, you get the answer 23 divided by 25 minus 14 divided by 25i.
Okay, Brain, you always fly me home on your plane, but how do I get there? I'm normally asleep.
You really are growing up. Here's how it works,
Plotting complex numbers is the same as plotting regular coordinates. The x-axis represents real numbers, and the y-axis represents imaginary numbers. Take the example 3, 6i. Go over 3 and up 6i, and you'll have your point.
Wow, I've learned so much about myself now. I can be the best I can be. I can see so clearly now.